just so you are all aware. So you can always go back. If you joined late, you can always go back and watch it later on. Um, but to start off, I will just say also, while we have our speakers talking, just to make sure you stay muted out of respect for them. But to start us off today, I want to introduce Robin from UMass Lowell, who was our funder for this program. So I just want to pass things over to her to start and introduce herself.
Hi, do you want me to say a few words at this time too, Patty, or just
Yeah.
introduce myself? Okay. All right. I'm Robin Tuff. I'm from the UMass Lowell Center for Community Research and Engagement, and I want to thank you for attending this important report out session. A few years ago, I just want to give you a little background on why I'm here, why UMass Lowell is here. So a few years ago, my colleague, Professor Carol McDonough, also from UMass Lowell, and we wrote a grant to the Mass Broadband Institute, which is under the Mass Tech Collaborative. And their mission is to increase digital skills and access to broadband across the Commonwealth. And in order for all to be able to interact and get the most out of this growing digital world, as you all know, for Carol and I to write this grant, it was not out of the blue. Digital literacy has been one of Carol's signature research areas, and building partnerships between the university and the community is mine and has been for the last over 30 years. So, our work these last few years to bridge the digital divide has entailed, among other things, providing computer skills training through community-based organizations in many places in Massachusetts. Training basics includes how to use the computer and the internet to stay in touch with friends and family, to meet with healthcare professionals, fill out important governmental paperwork, shop, and build skills to get a job or a better job. So this is where our partnership with ABN came in. We were introduced to Emmanuel by Gordon Donkor-Ham from the African Community Center of Lowell, who has hosted many of these basic skills computer workshops. And Emmanuel let us know about this foundational work that ABN was doing to develop this AI in the workplace workshop. So perfect. We were looking for that next step, and who was out there doing this next step of training. So through the MBI grant that we were able to fund the development of the curriculum and the pilot course, through the grant we were able to fund ABN's development of the curriculum and the pilot course that you're going to hear about more about today, and a few other courses as well. So job seekers and advancers will need to understand this powerful tool, how it can help us, or ways it can help, and how to use it more effectively, safely, and ethically. And you'll see in the presentation how this carefully designed curriculum achieved its objectives in its pilot run. We are so thrilled to be a part of this and to be able to be a partner with ABN. And we're so grateful to be a part in our little small way, which is providing funding. So I want to thank Emmanuel, Maddie, and all of ABN as a whole for this wonderful opportunity. And so I'll pass it back off to Maddie, who's going to take us to the next part of the agenda.
All right, thank you so much, Robin. And again, thank you to UMass Lowell for giving us the opportunity to provide this program. It's much appreciated. So we want to jump into a little bit about the curriculum of this program, how we did the research, how we rolled it out. But before we do that, I'm going to be presenting these slides with my colleague Nicole. So I just want to give her the opportunity to introduce herself before we begin that presentation.
Oh,
Thank you, Maddie. Hi, everyone. So glad to be here to represent what we've done with this curriculum, with this pilot. So a little bit about myself. I'm an AI product manager specialized in digital transformation now since more than 10 years. I'm also the founder of a small consulting company that is collaborating very closely with ABN that is really specialized in digital literacy, AI literacy, and specifically by the name Do It Well, trying to understand how digital transformation and learning technical skills is not actually a scary thing, but it should be something that we all want to be part of. And so how can we include more parts of the workforce with that big mission? That's something that's really spoke to my mind, and I truly was really inspired when I met the ABM organization, and I truly aligned with their goal and mission. Mehdi, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, thank you, Nicole. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here to present these slides. Just give me one moment to pull that up. And let me share my screen. All right, here we go. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so to jump right into things here, I do believe that most people here know about ABN and our mission, but just to give a quick overview of the organization, ABN is a nonprofit based in Massachusetts, specifically the greater Boston area, and we service skilled immigrants around the entire state. So people who have foreign college education or foreign professional experience and are looking to use their talent and reintegrate themselves in the workforce here in Massachusetts without completely starting from scratch. So our main goals are to help build a supportive community which values and strengthens the qualifications and experiences of skilled immigrants and helping them to reach their full career potential. And a bit about the AI training, just in brief. This was, of course, in partnership with UMass Lowell, and we originally launched a 6-week virtual AI literacy training designed to empower immigrant job seekers with the knowledge and skills that they need to leverage AI tools responsibly and effectively for career advancement. And this training is part of a larger initiative called the AI for Immigrant Workforce Development Initiative. And this aims to empower immigrants and to shape the development and adaptation of AI technology and to explore AI-driven solutions that address the professional challenges that are being faced by the immigrant community. We have more information about this on our website, just to make sure we can use our time effectively. I won't go too deep into it, but I will be sending out more information in my follow-up email later. So you'll receive a lot more information on this. We have a whole report from earlier in this process that has a lot of information, so you'll all receive that. And when we were developing this training, we had a couple of guiding principles in mind. The first one was to prioritize responsible AI use to cultivate a critical mindset among the program participants. We also wanted to incorporate an equity lens to deepen the understanding of AI and address potential issues of ethics, bias, and cultural context. We also really emphasized practical AI application, so making sure that participants were able to leverage AI confidently in their career growth and use it properly. And lastly, we did this in a cohort-based approach. So we had a cohort of individuals for our pilot program. We're continuing to do cohorts for our upcoming virtual trainings and our in-person trainings. And so we're doing this to leverage the community learning and peer support aspects. And to talk a little bit more about the need for digital equity, this stemmed from our original research, which found out that many skilled immigrants are facing barriers when accessing technology tools such as AI, specifically barriers surrounding privacy and data security. And these AI tools are something that can really help them when it comes to networking, credential evaluation, and general job search prep. But these barriers and the cost and the lack of available training remain a really big concern when it comes to AI access for skilled immigrants. And when we look at it in the context of the US workplace, AI is really continuing to shape and affect recruitment, promotion, and workplace culture. So it's super important that we can make sure that skilled immigrants can keep up with these tools and make sure that they know them and can understand them properly. This also really ties in and directly reflects the current Massachusetts workforce agenda, which places an emphasis on reducing barriers to employment for underrepresented and underserved communities. And as I mentioned, we did a full literature review with all of our research, so I will be sharing that in my follow-up email later on. I want to pass it over to Nicole now to talk a little bit more about the specifics of the curriculum.
Thank you, Maddie. Yeah, as you were all saying, and also Robin mentioned, the digital literacy and it's really a very recent subject, but require a lot of research and really like thinking through it, how to apply it to this specific use case, which is the immigrant population. So that's what we did with ABN. So we did a lot of research to build up this curriculum in order that it was something that was useful, a specific use case to learn how to use AI for seeking a new job, understanding how your career can be impacted by AI, how the digital transformation, all of these generative AI tools may be replacing some jobs, may be creating new opportunities. We also wanted really to analyze what is the impact on biases. There are some biases that are already out there when you're looking for a job, but how these biases are now translated and brought up into the AI selection process. So this is like just a very quick overview of some of the main research pillars that we worked on with my colleagues, Blanche Greux, because we really wanted to go deep in sourcing articles, publications, peer-reviewed sources that can really bring you some truth to some of the conversation that are happening around these generative AI tools. And also during the summer, when we were developing the first cohort, many things happened. You can imagine ChatGPT, the evolution of the different generative AI tools. Now that we're going into our second cohort, many of the things that we mentioned have changed. So it's a really dynamic workplace, but it's also a very dynamic research topic. We can go to the next slide. So what we want to achieve when we approach this subject is really making sure that the participants bring home are feeling comfortable with this skill set, understanding how they can use AI, the digital responsibility that is not only for the organization that create large language models or these generative AI tools, but also us, the users. So understanding how it is important to be the owner of the information that you share, where is appropriate to share some information, how differences in culture and backgrounds can have an impact. For example, when you're applying for a job and being self-aware of some of these differences that are happening around us. A note that I want to do that I think it's important and is covered in the curriculum is that most of the job posting now in the United States require some AI skills. So this is like a transformation that is happening around us. And so really our goal is making sure that you bring home these skills. I encourage during the course, what we learned, open up your LinkedIn profile and go and add these skills now, because this is like really the biggest takeaway, understanding how to prompts, understanding how to build up, automate a workflow or creating your own chatbot. Those are like skills that nowadays we're all asked for, and it's important to have an understanding of it. Also in the context of the cultural diversity that we all bring to the table, you may hear my strong Italian accent. I'm an immigrant myself. And so every time during class and during the curriculum, we acknowledge, for example, the difference in languages and the difference interaction that you may have in a voice mode, for example, or when you're applying for a job and you are interviewed in an automated way, is your accent playing a role in the way that you are being reviewed or not? Like all of these things are really important subjects and are covered in our curriculum. You can go to the next slide. We wanted from day one to make sure that this is a safe zone. What it means that? It means that it's not only a place to learn skills and learn these resources, and but also have access to them offline at your own pace. So we share a lot of resources so that you don't need to go around and find the best prompts for your specific use case, finding a job or dreaming about your career roadmap and applying it with your specific needs. We suggest you tools. We give you access to all these resources also offline. We created a learning community. We decided to do it through WhatsApp for the pilot because we thought that was the simplest way for doing that. For example, we open up a Zoom in a class, but then if there is anybody that has problems understanding how to get in, how to log in, because we all are doing multiple things. We want to always welcome everyone. We have been there, so we understand that it's sometimes challenging to combine our in-person life and our virtual life when we want to get better and work on upskilling ourselves. So it's really a safe zone. It's really welcoming and very practical. So at some point we put you in the under the spotlight, and we do it very softly. Like we provide all the tools, access to the tools, understanding how they work. But then we ask you to lean in and to start sharing your screens, start showing us your workflow, start showing us how you prompt, how you start feeling more comfortable doing so and sharing with your peers. So those classes are really, really practical because it's part of the game, showcasing and showing by doing these skills. Okay, go to the next slide. As far as the pilot, which was a great experience for all of us. We divided it in 6 weeks training, covering different modules that are bringing you the knowledge of the AI literacy, understanding how the workplace is changing, how you may need to rethink about your career journey, how AI literacy is now required and is not something you should be scared of. Testing, iterating, showcasing to us what you learned, sharing with others. We had 22 participants. Of them, 18 received a certificate. You may think, why only 18? It's because we have some assignments. So it's, like I said, it's a very practical training. So we do have assignments that we give at the end of every class. And so that means also that we care about your learning journey. We review your assignments, and then participation is really encouraged. And that's probably one of the main pillar. Based on the post-training, the survey that from UMass Lowell, the participant rated the training 8.2 out of 10. We were very, very, very happy with that results. It was the first pilot. So as all the pilot, the first pilot, it's also a learning area. Imagine connectivity and all of these issues that can happen. Now we also have a participant that can share her experience. So we're very proud of the learnings that we know that the participant collected. Some of the highlights that the participant mentioned were specific skills, as for example, creating custom GPT, creating gems, creating some workflows. And so more for me, the most important, feeling welcome, included, and also having a sense of community that we get through this WhatsApp group. We also have an alumni group. And so we share news. As I said, like every day there is something new that is happening in the AI world. And we want to make sure that everyone feel included with that innovation that is happening around us and maybe being part of it. Maddie, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Nicole. I want to talk a little bit about the demographics of the people that participated in this training. So we originally invited 30 people to participate. And of these 30 individuals, we noticed that 40% of them had at least a bachelor's degree. Majority of them had a background in healthcare and social sciences. And despite people's high level of education, about 56% of them were currently unemployed. They also came from a lot of different locations. So we noticed 14 different cities and towns. Most people were coming from Brockton, Boston, Malden, and Randolph. And it was extremely diverse when it came to country of origin as well. We saw 13 different countries that people were coming from, majority from Haiti and Nigeria. And we also were looking at, when people applied, we looked at, okay, what are your learning expectations? What do you want to get out of this course? And a couple of the answers that stood out to us that we saw most frequently, people wanted to really generally strengthen their AI skills. They wanted to use AI to learn how to advance in their careers. There was also a lot of curiosity around, hey, how AI is shaping our world in a general sense. And then people were really interested in using AI to tailor their resumes, practice interviews, and then look for jobs as well. And I also want to highlight that today we have one of our pilot program participants, Dania, and I want to let her talk a little bit about her experience in the training. So, Dania, I want to pass it over to you to talk about your experience if you're ready.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here this morning. Um, my experience with the AI training was very positive and enjoyable. The sessions were easy to understand and felt very relevant to my situation as an immigrant. Nicole, the instructor, was very detailed oriented and made sure that everyone understood what was being discussed. She explained everything clearly and created a very supportive learning environment. The breakout rooms were extremely important because they gave us the opportunity to share our experience with people from different backgrounds and learn from each other's. That part really stood me out because sometimes you would never imagine that someone from Nigeria was sharing the same situation with you or having a different situation but react the same way. So this was really important. I learned a lot during the training, especially how to use AI, how AI tools can be used for resume writing, cover letters, job searching, and interview preparation. The training also helped me understand how to ask better questions so I can get more useful results from AI. Before the training, I was already somewhat comfortable with generating prompts and doing research. But after the training, I felt more at ease and confident. I also gained new knowledge about tools like Microsoft Pilot and JobScan and how to use them effectively. Although I'm not currently looking for work, I was really happy I took this class because I know it will help me in my future. Um, I have a bachelor degree in business administration, and I have worked for 14 years as a security investigator with the Department of Homeland Security. After my family and I moved to the United States, I could not find a position that matched my previous experience. So I knew I needed to enter the job market at a lower level, which was okay with me because you have to start somewhere. I am currently working as an administrative assistant. To be honest, I was a little bit worried I wouldn't be able to grow or evolve, but the knowledge I gained from this training gave me confidence about my future. One of the things that impressed me the most was having the opportunity to create a career plan based on my education, background, what I'm currently doing, and where I want to go in life. Through the training, I was able to recognize which careers are declining and which ones are emerging. It made me realize that what was trending a few years ago may not exist in 5 or 10 years. So instead of feeling stuck in a path where I wouldn't be able to evolve, I know now how to adjust myself and redirect in a new career. I was honestly really amazed by the result. I didn't have to pay a consultant to create a career plan for me. Thanks to Nicole, I was able to do it myself. And I'm pretty sure that if I follow what I've learned, stay aligned with the career trends, I will be very successful in the future. I'm telling you. Overall, the training made AI feel accessible and useful, and I feel very much prepared to use what I've learned in both my personal and my career life. And lastly, I want to say a big thank you to Nicole because she said in the slide that she went, we also have outside, she reached out outside of the classroom. I really want to emphasize on this part because what she did was she went above and beyond. For some time, I was lacking behind, barely follow the class and miss some homework. She makes sure that she reach out personally to me to know if it was something in the class that I didn't understand and give me time to get back on track and reconnect with what they were doing. It really, it mean a lot. Yeah, it really meant a lot to me. And also thank you to Emmanuel, who was always there to assist you. I know he may not be the principal teacher of the class, but his help was very helpful. And also thank you to Maddie for always reaching out. I know you are in the back, but what you're doing is very essential to ABN and to us. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Danya. I really appreciate you being here and giving your feedback to everyone here. So we really appreciate that. I'm going to pass it back over to Nicole now to continue talking a little bit about the outcomes of our training. Actually.
Thank you, Maddie, and thank you, Danya. Thank you very much for you sharing your experience during the course and the pilots, and also for your patience because it's always a pilot. So thank you very much for going through this with us and learning with us. So some of the outcome that you can see here in this chart is basically what the participants shared where their knowledge about these topics pre and post training. That was something that we measured through a survey administered by UMass Lowell. And also every model we were asking with a post check, how are you feeling? So what do you think about these skills? How you feel? Do you feel comfortable or not? Because as Dania has mentioned, it's a journey that we go through together. So we really wanted every time to do a post check and understanding where you are, because all of us is this different journey when learning these skills. So you can see here the outcome of how you feel confident, which for us was a very important goal that we set together with UMass. And then analyzing the AI outputs. That's something that also Dania explained, like asking questions, prompting, and then using that prompts for your own goal. You can go to the next slide. And then like here we have highlighted some of the best uses of AI that we have seen pretty much a strong growth of learning from pre and post. So you can see here, for example, the career mapping exercise and understanding where you can go based on the AI workplace that we're living nowadays in the age of AI. The career gap analysis, identify career trends. So what was the workplace like probably last year or 2 years ago, and what is it coming to happen tomorrow, today, and in the next 5 years, because the world is evolving so rapidly. And then how to build your target resume, practice for interview, and then identify a job fit, with the caveat, as we have learned also from Maddie earlier, that we really wanted the curriculum to be focused on the immigrant population, minorities, immigrant population. What does it mean? Like understanding also your job fit here in the US, in the US job market nowadays, and how you can adapt, readapt, reskill, upskill, and bring your value and your potential to the table, leaning in with this AI literacy skills.
All right, thank you again, Nicole. To wrap up this part of our presentation, I do just want to highlight a couple of our next steps. So after this program wrapped up, we gained extremely positive feedback on the course content and the trainer. Obviously, we've had Danya here today to express some of that feedback, so thank you again. And a lot of people, especially those that are in the alumni WhatsApp group, have already started texting again and saying that they have been practicing this or they have started using it, the AI skills in their job search. So we're already seeing really positive feedback. As this progresses, we have started to plan in-person trainings. So we currently have in-person trainings planned at the Cambridge and Shrewsbury Public Libraries. And we're hoping that with additional support, we can continue hosting both virtual and in-person trainings throughout the remainder of this year. And another thing that we aim to do is to create a train the trainer model for career coaches to teach these skills to clients and job seekers that they are working with. And we have somebody here today that is going to be speaking a lot more on this topic. So I want to pass it over to Ashwini, my colleague, to continue this conversation. So I'm going to stop sharing and I will allow her to share her slides here and introduce herself.
Thank you, Maddie. I'm Ashwini Ramnishankar. I'm part of the AI team here at ABN, helping with AI initiatives. I'd like to share my screen. Just a second. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So with the success of the training for job seekers, what's next was our question with the AI team here. And we want to share about those. I'd like to take a few minutes to share about that. Little about me. My journey has been in entrepreneurship, product management, and recently into AI for the past decade. I was very excited to see the growth in AI, and I jumped into this. And I have my recent passion has been sharing this AI skills to as many people as possible. And I'm very happy to partner with ABN to help out in this initiative. So before we go in, wanted to share how AI is in this current landscape of the workforce development. If you see in this, we have the job seekers. So in the job seekers, the AI support is very mature, is getting very mature and accessible. Like we saw now, the course that was headed by Nicole, there are many more training programs that are happening for job seekers. There are a lot of resume and interview tools, and the adoption is also getting pretty high. On the other side, we have the employers who have, the vendors are developing a lot of embedded AI tools into their hiring systems. So we have AI built into them, they have trainings happening for them, they have their colleagues who are helping them through these AI initiatives. But when we come to the key piece of the career coaches, our research shows that the AI support is fragmented and underdeveloped. There are only generic AI tools that career coaches kind of use what's already available, and there are very few specific AI solutions for career coaches, and there is limited structural training, and there is also a large gap in the best practices standards. So looking at this, we also see that this could be a gap that we could put our next steps in to help in this area. The AI coaching or enablement for coaches are very rare, like we spoke. It's very scarce in the market. Training courses are out there, but is not yet matured. And coaches, if you see, usually work very independently. So the sharing in the network is not as much as you would have in other professions that you would say. The best practices of how to use confidential data of clients, how to use it in this AI tools is little vague and not very clear on the best practices of how to use the AI tools for their profession. So with the successful implementation for the job seeker training, our next initiative at ABN will be for AI enablement, human-centered AI enablement for career coaches. And how we plan to do this, when we were researching and thinking about this, we were thinking about establishing a community of practice for career coaches using LinkedIn as a platform. So we'd like to bring together career coaches to learn together and share together and grow in this AI journey. So why LinkedIn? When we were looking at different options, LinkedIn is a very professional platform where job seekers and career coaches already are on the platform or would be good to be on the platform to increase their potential and their reach. We didn't want career coaches or other to log on to a new platform and add on to their digital space. So we wanted to leverage an already existing platform, and LinkedIn played a perfect part in this. So LinkedIn is a place where we would establish this community of practice to as a place to gather, but we would be using additional tools like newsletters and live Zoom meetings such as this to continue our efforts in building AI enablement for career coaches. So how we would do it is we would send out a survey. We would begin with initially sending out a survey with to all our career coaches and practitioners and organization involved in this space, and we would gather their input. And once we have a results, we would like to assess the readiness level. We would like to see the readiness level of the career coaches. If need be, we would have slight workshops to get everybody to a certain readiness level and then invite them to the LinkedIn platform. And once we are on this community of practice, we would be sharing relevant AI resources to career coaches specific to what's needed for career coaches. We would be seeing what it would really help for them, which tool would help for them. We would like to invite and have bi-monthly live workshops from AI experts touching on things that would be very relevant for career coaches as a profession. And we would also have monthly live peer roundtable and see how career coaches share their learnings and their knowledge so that we can learn and grow together in this AI landscape, which is ever changing. This would also grow into having train the trainer workshops, which are structured into different progressive levels. And we would love to have certificates such as this below, if you see, to have different levels, because when we are in a certain level, AI space is growing, and we would like to have a progressive scale. So there is continuous growth and development and structured progress. And we would hope these certifications can be used in LinkedIn and in wherever you can display, so that their AI readiness level is showcased to the professional world. So by this initiative, we hope career coaches would help career coaching enhance the nuances of human relationship through the use of AI, because it never replaces the human part of coaching, which is the most essential feature. To help empower the job seekers with AI tools, they can progress in their career during and after the job search. So when we empower career coaches, we also hope that it reaches more of the job seekers as well. And it would help reduce the administrative burden for the career coaches. And we would definitely want to provide a standard framework, guideline, and guardrails for career coaches as a framework, as a guide while using AI, so they can, without fear, use more of these AI tools to help in their daily work. I'm sure there must be many more benefits as career practitioners and coaches here. If you feel there are any more benefits, please feel free to drop in the chat, and we would love to know from you. So as a next step, we have our AI readiness survey that we would like to roll out in the 3rd week of February. And we would love to seek your help in filling this survey. It's a 5-minute survey. We would like you to have your inputs, and we would also like you to share with if you're part of any organization, or if you know career coaches or people in this space, we would love for you to share this survey with them, so we would gain more data and we can help plan this initiative in the right way with what is actually needed in this space. And after that, we would be sharing our learnings and be sending out invitations to be part of the LinkedIn group. And we would request all your help to grow this community and initiative with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashwini. That was awesome.
Thanks, Marielle.
If you want to stop
Stop
sharing,
sharing.
perfect. To wrap things up here when it comes to speakers, I am just going to pass things over to Emmanuel to say a few final remarks.
So first of all, I want to say thank you to all the speakers. You were really amazing with your presentation, and it's a pleasure to get to work with all of you. So for those of you we are meeting for the first time, Emmanuel Owusu is my name. I serve as the Executive Director for African Bridge Network. Just some remarks on what is next, but let me paint this in a bigger picture for all of us, what we are doing here. I was listening to the radio this week and someone used a phrase or a frame that is quite interesting about AI. He said bicycle was invented to help human beings to go faster, and then it became a train, and it became a car, and then it became airspace. So with that, we're able to go faster than our normal human speed, right? These two, that's what they allow us to do. AI is human brain bicycle. It's going to augment what we can naturally do as human beings. But like a bicycle, we will have to learn how to ride it, how to drive the car, how to drive the train, so that we can go faster, right? So the bicycle did not replace human beings. It allows us to go faster. So if my prediction comes to pass, AI will not replace us. It will help us to go faster and do things we could not do years back. So that is the frame I want you to live with today. So the other piece is this technology is evolving so rapidly and it's changing by the day. So one of the challenges here is how do you prepare the workforce to adapt to a technology that is changing by the day? Do you train them for what is going to be 10 years from now, which nobody knows? Or you start with wherever you are? So that is one argument that is going on right now. The other arguments that is going on is AI replacing workers or it is supercharging workers? Someone put a spin on it that it's not AI that will replace you, is the person who knows how to use AI that will replace you. So with all this tension, the question becomes, what is next for us? So it's not just for ABN. I'm glad you're joining this conversation. It's a question for all of us to begin to wrap our mind around it. What is next for us, right? So adaptation is critical. Helping our current clients, whether it's job seekers or whoever we're working with, right, to get the initial adaptation, the training still matter. We don't know what the technology is going to be in 20 years, but I believe if we can help people to begin to gain the literacy that is needed so that they can keep up with whatever changes is going to be in 20 years, so be it. And tied to that, we should be thinking about a mechanism for an ongoing learning. So if you heard Nicole using WhatsApp group, you heard Ashwini, the LinkedIn group, for an ongoing learning so that as the technology evolves, there is a mechanism for the people we serve to continue to grow with it. It's quite critical. So those are some of the next step on my mind. And then it's also important, especially this is more for practitioners, to think about whoever we are training, let's help them to be able to assess the impact of this technology on their life and on their career and everything they are doing. As Diana said, now she knows that certain jobs are going to be obsolete and there are going to be certain jobs that will come live. We need to help people to understand the impact of the technology. And some of these things, again, comes through the training, come through the community of practice. And then lastly, what I would say is collaboration. Collaboration, especially for the practitioners on this call. I'm so glad you're on it. Not to reinvent the wheel is a key here. Can we keep collaborating so that we can join hands and support each other? Since we partner with UMass Lowell to do this, we have the Cambridge Public Library reach out, and they want to offer this training. They don't want to start from scratch, build a whole curriculum. They will use the curriculum ABN is piloting, and now we're learning from it, and we know it's producing the outcome. They want to use it to offer a training. So that's the kind of collaboration we're talking about. This is the way we can deploy the support for many people as quickly as possible. It's true collaboration, right? And we have William James Community College also doing something similar. They want a training to be offered to their graduate of one of their programs. So collaboration, I think, is also key here. And I will end by saying, we are all learning this together. It's not like ABN has figured this thing out 100%. We are learning. We are leaning into learning and keeping in pace and getting better. And if there's anyone interested in some of these things, I'm more than happy to jump on the call with you. But I want to end by saying thank you to UMass Lowell for making this possible. Your partnership is valuable. And then also to Nicole, as she said, this is what ABN stands for: skilled immigrants using their talent. And there's no better picture for me to highlight today than to mention Nicole using her talent to support the society we live in. So thank you, everyone. I think there is time for us to discuss a few comments and discussions. So I'll turn it over to Maddie, who's done an incredible job bringing all of us together this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. So yeah, we do have some time for Q&A. If anyone has specific questions they would like to ask, more than happy to open the floor to you guys. You can either raise your hand and ask the question, or if you're more comfortable putting it in the chat, that's okay too. Whatever you'd like to do. Sivinch, yes.
Thank you for this great presentation. I would like to know how everyone can join for this training. It's have to pay or it's free.
Yes, the training is completely free. There's no payment. You don't have to pay anything. I'm actually seeing a couple of questions in the chat here, so I'll address these all together. So it's a free training. You don't have to pay anything. For people who are interested in joining, the criteria, you do have to be a Massachusetts resident. So I'm seeing that, yes. Okay, a lot are coming in. Let me get let me get them all here. Yes, you have to be a Massachusetts resident. We are looking for people that have a general understanding of like basic digital literacy, but that's not a hard requirement. It's something that we're interested in, but it's something we can also teach you as well. We're looking for people that have at least a high school degree, that have moderate English language proficiency, just so that when you join the class and you need to communicate with your instructor and your peers, you're able to communicate with them properly. And just people who are interested in developing their AI skills, really. We're looking for people that have an interest in this topic. So that's the criteria. Peter is asking, what is the next step? If you are interested in joining the training, you can apply right now. Actually, I'll put the link in the chat now so everyone can see it. You can apply right now if you're interested in joining the training. If you're someone that's interested in collaborating with us, potentially to host a training or just be involved in any way, that's something that you can follow up with Emmanuel or I about. Is there a minimum level of English required for participants to be able to participate? We're looking generally for just a moderate level of English, but we do not administer a English exam before we enroll people. This training is offered online and in person. So we are currently finishing up a virtual cohort at the moment. So our next virtual class will be in April. And then we're hosting a in-person course at the Cambridge Public Library starting in March. And then we also have an in-person course at the Shrewsbury Library starting in August. So there are options depending on where you're located. I'm just looking through questions in the chat here. What time of day does the class, okay, what time of day is the class? For the virtual trainings, they are on Monday evenings. And for the in-person trainings, they are Saturday afternoon. And the full training schedules are on our website. So go to the link that I put in the chat. And I see Emmanuel and Ashwini answering questions in the chat. So thank you. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, at this moment, you do have to be a Massachusetts resident, even if you want to participate in the virtual class. But potentially at some point, we can maybe expand that and offer it to people that are not Massachusetts residents. But right now, you do have to be a resident for all of our courses. This person is asking, did you find different outcomes for various participants? For example, women, education level, etc. So right now we have only fully completed one cohort. We're in the process of completing our second cohort right now. So this is definitely something that we're going to look at more in depth once we get the results from the current cohort. So that's information that will be available soon.
Can I add one thing on that?
Yeah, please.
Usually women are, unfortunately, there are a lot of data supporting this, that usually are using less AI than men. And usually AI is built and created by a majority of men. So this is not necessarily related to the question, but I thought to bring it up because I think a great result is also having women getting closer to technology and feeling welcome to use technology. So, and by the way, I don't think there's going to be a difference between men and women. It's just an adoption that sometimes women are keeping themselves out of the technology for some reason, and data speaks about that. So just wanted to bring it up. It's a good result having women participate in this program. We support it very much.
Yes.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, please.
This class will help us in the AI generation or how we can use the AI?
Both. It will help with both. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Another question I'm seeing is about how many classes there are. So for the virtual classes, you meet 6 times once a week. And for the in-person classes, you meet 4 times once a week. And as I also said, the link that we put in the chat, and I'll also be sending it out in my follow-up email. If you go to that link, you can see all of the dates for all the upcoming courses.
Madi, let me add one bit of information. So currently, for the AI training, it was sponsored by state funding, Massachusetts state funding. So there's a restriction as to who can attend. The content itself is not particularly tied to Massachusetts. So this is where collaboration can really help to deploy the content to any other resident outside Massachusetts. So if you are interested, we have happy to have a phone call and we figure out how to make it work. The second piece is for the career coaches, the AI for career coaches. Right from the beginning, our focus is to build something that will be nationwide. So it's not going to be Massachusetts based. It's going to be nationwide, right? So if you're a career coach or you know career coaches or you work with career coaches that will be interested, that is the way we're going. It should be open to any career coach in the country. Thank you.
Sorry, I have one more question. I registered for this class in past, but how I can control if my registration done well, or how I can check my name in the list?
Sorry, can you clarify what you're asking? So are you interested in checking the status of your application? Is that what you're?
Yeah, already I register in the class.
Oh, okay, I see. Yes. So if you're not enrolled, it's just because we have a cohort that's currently running. So you'll be automatically enrolled in the next virtual cohort, which is going to be in April. Unless you've specifically selected the in-person in Cambridge instead, which in that case, you'll be contacted about that separately. But if you applied for the virtual cohort, you'll be automatically enrolled in the next one. It's just a matter of we can only have a certain amount of spots for each cohort. So if we reach the maximum amount, we have to put everyone else in the next one.
Okay, thank you.
And another question, do I choose either the virtual or in person, or do I choose both? When you go to the website, there is an option for which one you can apply for. So when you're at the application, you can have it very clearly states if you want the virtual one, click here. If you want the in-person one, click here. So it's very, I think the directions are very clear. So you choose whichever one you want to be a part of. Does anyone else have additional questions? We have a little bit more time.
There's a question about whether we provide the technology, the laptop for participant of the class. We don't have the funding to do that. So the expectation is you come in with your own laptop. However, the training that we're doing with City of Cambridge, that is an in-person training in March, the library can provide a laptop. Obviously, it's an in-person session, so there will be laptops at the library you can receive. And I believe, I don't know whether they will let you keep the laptops or not. I think they will let you, right?
Yes.
Is that the
So
plan? Yeah.
for Cambridge Public Library training, if you complete training in its full extent, there is an opportunity for you to take a Chromebook home permanently afterwards. But that's only if you complete the training. So, yes. And Linda, I see your question. The pilot cohort was online.
Good morning, everybody. I was part the last virtual session, so I would like to know if you will update the curriculum, just to know if I have to register again.
We'll be making slight adjustments to the curriculum just based on feedback from you guys, but it's not going to be like a completely new curriculum each time. Also, Nicole, you can probably speak on this a bit too.
Yeah, Harrison, this is a good question. So there are sometimes some tools that are updated, and we want always to bring the most refined information out there. We only cite reviewed publication, and we make sure that we do that work. So we'll find a way to share updates for sure. In the alumni chat, we sometimes share some updates and some news from the industry. But that's a good point that you have. This technology is evolving very, very fast. So there might be things that become obsolete, but hopefully in a 1 year of time, it's good enough. But something that we need to evaluate a little bit closer. But we share back resources as we get them and evaluate them with the alumni community.
And then, do you accept an alumni register, participate again?
Ideally, we're going to prioritize the people who have not taken the training yet. So as long as we have a list of like new participants, we're going to put them in the training. I guess we wouldn't have anything against having someone take the course twice. It's just a matter of making sure there's space for new people beforehand, though.
Okay, thank
Um,
you. Last thing, I would like,
Harrison,
I would,
Harrison, before you
yes,
go on,
Manuel.
think about it this way. You have access to the materials. You have access to your colleagues. In a way, you have access to Nicole. So if there are specific things you want to learn or you want to do more, I will encourage you to take advantage that way, right? Use what you already have. That will be probably the best way for the use of your time.
Thank you, thank
Yes,
you so much.
let
But
me.
I would like publicly thank you a lot because
Mhm.
after the session, I did a lot, a lot with what I learned from Nicole and ABN. Thank you, thank you so much.
Yes, can I add something to what Emmanuel just said, please? Um, Nicole shared so many resources that I don't think you will have time to go over everything. Um, it contains so much information that if you give yourself or if you take the time, like at least once a day to go on one of the link to go on the library to read, that at some point you might even become a coach like Nicole because she really share a lot of resources that we didn't have time to go through during the course because it was so intense. But this is the part where you can take on now because with the basic that she gave you, that helped you move further, and now you can help yourself. So I know that there are so many people who are waiting to get the opportunity, the chance to participate that we cannot try to grab Nicole and Emmanuel just for ourselves. And I'm also here if you need to reach out. Maybe we can discuss about something. Maybe I will learn from you too. So let's do it that way.
Yeah. Thank you, Danya. And that's the reason that we have the alumni group and the WhatsApp groups, is so people can, you guys can talk to your peers as well. I want to, if anyone has like one more question, we can do that. But I do want to take the last couple of minutes to have you guys fill out an evaluation form. So I'll take one more question if there is any. Going once. All right. No more questions. Then I'm going to turn things over now. So we have created a very short evaluation form. It's a couple of questions, nothing too expansive. And I would really, really appreciate if you guys could fill it out for me. I am going to put a link in the chat. This will help us get an idea of what we gathered from today. If people are interested in how they're interested in participating in the training, whether it be taking the course, partnering with us, anything like that. So I'd really appreciate if you guys could fill it out. As I said, it will only take like 2 minutes and I'm watching it. So I'm going to see you guys filling it out and submitting it. So I better see submissions come in. Okay.
Let me add something quickly
Yeah.
to this appeal. I mentioned we haven't figured this thing out 100%. It means we are learning the best way to support you, right? And that is what we are asking you to tell us. How can we support you in your AI adaptation? What else can ABN be doing? That question, we cannot figure it out until you tell us, right? So if you could take a minute or two, if there's a way I can log the Zoom that unless you finish answering this question, you don't leave, I will lock it. But I can do that. So I only can appeal to you. Tell us, how can we keep supporting you, right? And then we'll do the best we can to find the resources to provide that support. So that's where we're asking for your help. And you might say, oh, there are other things others are doing that maybe ABN can consider to do. Or you might say, hey, I can help. I am AI expert and I'm happy to bring my expertise like Nicole. She brought her expertise to help other immigrants. Maybe you'll listen to me and this is your moment, right? You might say, here am I. I'm happy to be part of this movement. Please let us know through the evaluation, and then we'll follow up with you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, I'm starting to see some responses come in, so thank you. I appreciate that. While people are filling out this evaluation, I do just want to say that in my follow-up email, you'll receive a lot of different information. So you'll receive a recording from today's session. So if you joined late, there is a recording. You can go back and you can watch it. You'll also get the link to the AI ABN page. So this page includes all of the information on the AI training, the training dates, the application links, everything is on there. There's information on the AI initiative. So if you have any further questions, you can always look there. There's so much information on that page. So you'll get the link to that. You will also get the link to our initial report. So this is all of the research that Nicole and Blanche did earlier on when we were first developing this training. So our literature review, everything is in there. So if you're really interested in learning more about the research that went into this, that will be shared with you as well. And lastly, I will share the link to the evaluation. So if you leave today without being able to answer it, it's there. And I hope you would go back and answer it for me. Because like Emmanuel said, this is very helpful for us to really expand on this. So yeah, again, I'm seeing responses come in, so I really appreciate that. I think that is what I have for today. If you'd like to stay back for another couple of minutes, we can do that. But once you fill the evaluation report, if you'd like to leave or if you need to jump for anything else, that is okay. But we just all want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. And I want to thank everyone that took the time to speak. So thank you, Nicole, Robin, Emmanuel, Ashwini, and Danya. Thank you all so much for participating today. Really appreciate it. And if you have any further questions about anything that we spoke about today, please reach out to me. I'm always available to talk. And yeah, I'm around. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to leave the Zoom open just while I continue to receive responses, but you guys are free to go when you would like to. All right, I think we're at our time for today, so I'm going to close this out. But again, thank you all for joining today. I really appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day and a good weekend. So thank you all.